Oh my God, they're so good. Oh my God. Roasted nuts are a great snack or appetizer, so stay tuned. I'm going to show you 3 ways. Trisha here from the Chickpea channel, and behind the cameras as usual is David from Living Tech. We release a video every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Please like our video, subscribe, and sign up for notifications. Today I'm going to show you a few things you can do with pecans. The most nutritious way to eat pecans is raw, but you don't always want to eat raw nuts. The next step would be to dry roast them. So when you dry roast them, you lose a little bit of the nutrition, but they get a nicer texture for if you want to use them in recipes or if you just want to snack on them. You just take the pecans, throw them on a tray, and throw them in the oven according to the instructions I'm about to give you. The next way to toast them is just toss them with some oil, optionally salt if you're not worried about salt. I usually do add it. But the best way to eat pecans is a way that I learned when I was in the Atwater market in Montreal. This guy in Montreal, all he sells are nuts, and my very favorite one is a mixed nut mix that's a rosemary spice. And because what happens around our house is everybody just goes through the mixed nuts to pick out the pecans first, I tried to estimate the same recipe but using pecans only. For all the nuts that I'm gonna cook today, and for any nuts, not just pecans, that you want to cook in the future, toast technically, you put the oven on 350, cook them for about 5 minutes, shake them up, check them, they probably won't be done, and put them in for another 3 to 5 minutes watching them. You can tell they're done when you take one out to test it and it's a little bit chewy when you taste it, and also your house is going to smell fantastic by that time. First things first, I'm going to get the dry nuts and just the oil, no salt today, oil nuts, both of which are going to be pecans, on the baking trays. For these, I'm not going to bother using parchment paper. They're going to toast fine. Save the planet a little bit with the parchment paper, and they don't get that dirty. We're going to dry roast these and see how they turn out. I'm just going to add a little bit of oil. I'm going to use a neutral oil so it doesn't take away from the taste of the pecans. Just a little oil. That was about a tablespoon. Mix them up. And if you want salt, obviously add it at this point. Just drop them on the pan. Those are my plain nuts. Now we're going to get to work and make those fantastic rosemary spiced nuts. First step for the rosemary spiced nuts is the rosemary. You want to chop it up nice and small, and then we're going to saute it in some vegan butter to get the flavors going. I froze this rosemary because I always have to have rosemary around for this recipe. So it's not as happy as rosemary usually is, but it tastes just as good when you get going, especially since we're going to saute it to bring out the flavors. So we're going to take it off the stem. If you haven't worked with rosemary before, it looks like a tree branch, so you don't want that in there. Rosemary can be a little bit tough, but just hold the tip of the knife down and have at it. You can't really spin this in a coffee bean blade or a food processor. Doesn't really work. I've tried. It doesn't have to be perfect. I've got lots of different size rosemary in there. It's going to be great. And this is about 2 tablespoons, which is what the recipe calls for. Usually I use 3 or 4. Before I saute this, I'm going to mix together all the dry ingredients because there's going to be a great flurry at the end putting everything together. Pre-measured, I've got a teaspoon of cumin, quarter teaspoon cayenne pepper, teaspoon of salt, I use Himalayan salt, quarter teaspoon of black pepper, and a tablespoon of date sugar. So this helps to make it whole food. This date sugar is just like eating dates. So you have your nutrients from dates in the date sugar. And of course the pecans. that was about a minute. That's all you need. You can tell because it really smells like rosemary. It's nice. So off the heat after about a minute, just add the maple syrup. It's 1.5 teaspoons of maple syrup, so just don't think about it. If you're considering maple syrup to be unhealthy, don't think about it. And that's basically the coating. So I'm going to take all the dry ingredients that we pre-mixed, just put it in the pan. I want them all nice and coated. When it cooks, the rosemary does tend to fall off. So if you get each nut a little bit covered in oil, you have a better chance of an actual piece of rosemary sticking to the individual nut. Now I'm going to put the mixture on a tray. This one I'm lining with parchment paper. I think it works a little bit better and it's a lot easier to clean. If you have a convection oven, which I do, and you use the convection to cook the nuts, you might not even have to flip them. You could just leave them because the nature of the convection is obviously that it's going on all sides, and it just saves you one more in and out of the room if that's what you want to do. We have 3 sets of pecans to put in the oven at 350, and when they're done, you can let them cool. Best is when it's on parchment paper like this, put it on a cooling rack so you reduce the aftercook if you're sure that you've cooked them right. And especially with these rosemary spiced nuts, you can serve them up warm. Here are the dry roasted pecans out of the oven, the oil roasted pecans, and the rosemary spiced. You can smell the rosemary spiced. We're going to test them for you. Do you want to come and test the pecans?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I better try. Yes, another one.
They're really good. Really good. I'll try the other ones, but these are the best. I wish I could let you try these pecans. They really are something else. They're delicious. Please try them. If you like them, please like the video and subscribe, and please sign up for notifications. I would love to hear comments or ideas, anything. Just let me know in the comments underneath the video, and we'll see you next time.